tightening up your game for the next one you facing. Arcam Athletics, coaching and motivation.
Undefeated, he comes in, holding record 15 wins, 8 of those coming by way of knockouts. Fighting and representing Cincinnati, Ohio, the former United States Marine and the 2012 Olympian. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Jamel Herring.
Jamel Herring versus Denis Shafikov, Reading, Pennsylvania. This fight was today on July 2nd, 2016. PBC fights. Real good fight. As expected, Denis Shafikov came into the fight a 2-1 underdog against Jamel. And Jamel is 15-0 coming into the fight. U.S. Olympic 2012 team captain, United States Marine, tough guy. He's fought some pretty good opponents on the way up to his 15-0 record, and it's being looked at to take a big step up against Shafikov, who's a really tough guy. 36-1 is his record. Two southpaws, very interesting to see that come together. Not much different than seeing two orthodox fighters, but when you get two southpaws in there, it's not the norm to see something like that. So that made it a little more interesting, and also the height difference made it interesting. Jamel Herring is 5 or 6 inches taller than Shafikov, and also has a little bit longer reach, but not much of a reach difference, which is interesting considering the huge height difference. Shafikov was able to work his way inside of Herring from the second round rather, up until the end of the fight, which was stopped early. The TKO victory for Shafikov. Jamel Herring in the first round was doing a great job of using the whole ring and using his range to his advantage. And we expected to see that throughout the duration of the fight, but for some reason he decided he wanted to fight inside more and try to bang with Shafikov, who's a much shorter fighter, power puncher, and puts his punches together, combinations coming from everywhere. This guy throws uppercuts, liver shots, overhands, everything. And Jamel Herring got a taste of every bit of that, all the combination punches that never seem to stop. I'm guessing this guy, Shafikov, throws about 100, 200 punches a round. This guy's busy. His footwork is good. He's pretty quick. And he bought his A game tonight. He didn't come over here to the United States for nothing. Jamel Herring, on the other hand, I think he started out with the right game plan. Corner was telling him some good things to do, but for some reason he just couldn't bring it together. One thing I noticed is that consistently throughout the fight, he would stop and look at his work, and we all know that that's a bad thing to do. Your opponent is throwing punch after punch after punch non-stop. You're throwing a 1-2 punch, 3-punch combination here and there, and then stop and look at your work is bad news. And it seemed like that's what was hurting him. He was catching overhands in pause mode. It seemed like he was dropping his hands, standing in the middle of the ring, throw a 3-punch combination, stop and catch 1 to the jaw. Herring was dropped in the fight, and it didn't seem like he fully recovered after that. It seems like he looked like his legs just weren't quite there anymore for the rest of the fight. However, he hung tough the entire fight. My belief is that he was hurt after being dropped the first time and never fully recovered, but was game, continued to bang it out. He didn't use the ring that much, which could be a result of his legs not fully being there, or it could be a result of him proving his toughness and really wanting to bang it out and fight it to the end and, take his chances at out-punching this guy. But overall, Denis Shafikov, gotta admit it was what it was. He outboxed Herring, more power punches, more cleaner shots consistently, and he pulled off the victory. Barry Hunter and Mike Stafford decided to stop the fight to protect their fighter from taking too much unnecessary damage. Post-fight interview, I'm not sure Herring was completely in line with that, making that that decision. He seemed like he wanted to respect it, but at the same time, he seemed like he's a little bit apprehensive about fully embracing the decision. But at the end of the day, it's a tough call for a coach. If it were me, I would much rather in that situation protect my fighter and have him be angry than, to let it go too long. Which brings me to this. I want to commend Jamel Herring, fellow Marine, for at that post-fight interview, rather than keeping the whole focus on himself, which he could have done. No problem with that. It was his fight, but he did make a mention to Pritchard Colon, who I believe he's friends with, who was hurt back in, I think it was October, in a fight against Terrell Williams, and Pritchard still hasn't recovered. Rabbit shots behind the head caused some pretty severe damage, and Pritchard Colon is still in a coma to this day. Considering that, and Jamel Herring bringing that up, I'm pretty sure at some point, once he takes a step back, looks at the tape, and remembers things like that do happen, then I'm pretty sure he'll respect the decision that his corner made. Great fight, though. Jamel Herring hung in there till the corner stopped it. He was game. I think he would have finished the fight, possibly, but no sense in taking all of that punishment if you're that far down on the cards. Jamel Herring, Denis Shafikov. Shafikov gets the TKO victory. Jamel Herring takes his first loss. Look forward to seeing him go back to the drawing board and getting back on the win train.